Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's California EDD Unemployment Q&A Live. I want to talk really quick about filing a new claim with the EDD or reapplying for a new claim with the ED. If your benefit year is over, there's nothing that stops you from filing a new claim. But in order to get approved for that new claim, you do have to have an attachment to the workforce since you first filed your original claim. So if you haven't worked at all since you originally filed for unemployment benefits when you got laid off, most likely last year, if you haven't worked for a W-2 employer, you're not supposed to qualify for a new claim. Hi, Debbie. I hope everyone's doing okay tonight. The reason why I was talking about that first is because I just saw it asked as a question on the last video that I posted. So she tried to file a new claim because she did have wages in her base period that they look at, but there's more qualifying factors when you're trying to file two unemployment claims back to back. And unfortunately, one of those requirements is that you have wages since you first tried to file a claim. Boy, I just fixed my lighting. All right. Hi, Manuel. Hi, Christian. Hi, Andrew. Hi, Alicia. The EDD wait list for the phone interview is 18 to 20 weeks. Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's why I'm recommending, and I've got it pinned as a top comment. I was a little bit more prepared tonight. Email your assembly member and see if they can help push those payments through to you faster without waiting on the phone interview. Also, in terms of the conditional payments, in order for them to release those to you by September 30th, they need to have at least paid you one payment successfully on your claim in order for you to get the payments released conditionally. And Golden State Stimulus, they're not done sending that out yet. If you didn't get the first Golden State Stimulus or Golden State Stimulus 2, they are still sending those out through October 15th. Okay. Andrew says, just want to drop in and say hi. I hope that some relief comes from the next stimulus bill. Even a stimulus check is okay. They're not really talking about that. What they're saying is that they're leaving it up to states to give their residents a fourth stimulus check, and California has already received ours in the form of the Golden State stimulus. So I'm not expecting to see that in the infrastructure bill, but if it passes, I would be really happy. Also, guys, if you're worried about how you're going to pay your rent now that unemployment benefits have ended, in the first comment, it's not pinned because I hit enter before I meant to. But if you're already behind on your rent, go ahead and use the housingiskey.com website that I've got linked up there. Or if you're not behind on your rent yet, but you're worried about how you're going to pay your future rent, call them and say, hey, I've been able to pay my rent, but that's only because I was receiving unemployment benefits. Now I'm not receiving anything and I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent. I need help paying my future rent. And they should be able to help you with that. Now, I do imagine it's going to be like the EDD. There's going to be some customer service reps that are very helpful and knowledgeable and push that through. And there's others that are going to treat you like you have to practically be homeless before they'll set you up with the housingiskey.com rent relief and rental assistance funds. But that shouldn't be the case. You are supposed to qualify if you think you're going to have trouble with your future rent. So my recommendation would be to call them back and see if you can get a more helpful rep. Geraldine says, oh, you love my channel. Thank you so much. You certified on 9/5 and your status tracker states pending interview. Do I qualify for conditional payments? If you've already received one payment successfully from the EDD, then yes, you should be eligible for those conditional payments pay now programs, which would get paid out by September 30th. If you have not yet received at least one payment from the EDD, then you wouldn't be eligible under that program. And so my advice would be to email your assembly member. Fear Clan, the last time you worked was May 2020. So maybe you have enough wages to qualify for a new claim, but will my weekly benefit amount be low? So, in addition, if you first filed for unemployment benefits back in May and you haven't done any work, if you don't have attachment to the workforce since filing your original claim, you're not supposed to qualify this time. However, you might want to go ahead and call anyway or apply anyway. I did have two of my employees who hadn't worked and they were put onto a new claim. That's not supposed to be how it works. It's in there in writing that you need to have had some attachment to the workforce in order to pass the lag period. And if you haven't, you would fail the lag test. And so you would fail lag, FAILLAG. You would fail lag, and then you wouldn't qualify for a new claim, or at least you're not supposed to. Um, and yeah, if you're not looking at a whole year's worth of wages, the chances that your weekly benefit amount would be lower, it's at least possible. Mike, do you think we will get that extension that AOC is trying to propose? So that's AOC's proposed bill. You guys, if you haven't, I would really love it if you would watch that video that I made on it. There's not a lot of support for that right now. I do think that the economy would need to get worse, either through consumer spending, maybe just if enough people were defaulting on their rent and landlords were going through the eviction process, if the stock market were to fall as a result of unemployment data and jobs data, and or if the pandemic got a lot worse. I think it would take one of those things for Congress to realize that we needed an extension on unemployment benefits. But it's nice that she is trying. Okay. And it is true, you guys, yesterday I couldn't remember what state. Someone asked me about Pennsylvania. The governor, I wanna say, of Pennsylvania, he is looking into using some of their American Rescue Plan funds that are left over to extend. It only mentioned the PUA unemployment program. It didn't mention the other programs, so I'm not quite sure. And even if a governor wants to pass something, it still has to pass state legislation. So I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on that. You guys, I already lost my place, but Debbie is leaving me, the Halloween, um, emojis, which I'm loving. You guys, I really love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. Bats are my favorite animal. Black is my favorite color. Uh, Ben knows that. Debbie says, "What are the other requirements to file back-to-back claims?" Okay, so in addition, I usually just generalize and I say it has to be some work. So you have to have attachment to the labor force, which is the some work, but you also need to have made, I wanna say $1,300 total since you first opened it. There's also a $900 amount. The $900 amount might be in 1 quarter. Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up. Fail lag EDD so that I can make sure that I'm telling you exactly correct, but it's a certain amount of money that you need to have made since first filing your claim. And in my head, I was like, well, how would people have gotten money in their benefit year if they didn't if they didn't qualify for the sum work? How would you have it? And then I realized I just had to look at my own situation to figure it out. I got furloughed on March 15th, but the company that I worked for still owed me a pretty big paycheck. It owed me a paycheck of, I want to say, $2,000 gross income, which is what the EDD looks at. I got that on Friday, March 20th. So EDD would show that I have wages since I first opened my unemployment claim, and they are earned wages because they're from work that I did, but I hadn't done enough actual work. I don't have attachment to the workforce. Well, I do now, but then when I had to file my new claim to see if I qualified to be put on the new claim or kept on the extension, I had actually worked 2 days, but they totaled less than $900, and so that's why I didn't qualify. Let me try and figure it out here, though. So as soon as I Googled fail lag EDD, and it comes up, the lag period is going to be explained. It's like way down here. You have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. I don't even know how. Oh, I thought I was showing you guys and I didn't. Okay. So the earnings requirement, paid wages for employment of not less than $1,300 during the high quarter of the base period. So it needs to be $1,300 in the quarter, or paid wages for employment of not less than $900 in the high quarter of the new claim, and have earnings of 1.25 times those high quarter earnings in the base period of the new claim. Example, if high quarter earnings are 900, the claimant must have total base period earnings of at least $1,125. If high quarter earnings are $1,200, the total base period earnings required are at least $1,500, and it's either or of those. So that's what it is. And then, oops. And then we're going to scroll down. It's got a lot. And then the sum work requirement. It's in addition to the earnings requirements described as above. This requirement guarantees that the claimant has shown some attachment to a labor market during his old benefit year. So that work has to be done during the old benefit year. Okay. Oh, no. I gotta block somebody. I wish I had my moderator in here. Okay. All right, here we go. Sorry, scrolling back up to where I lost my place. Let's see here. Mike. Oh, no, we just did Mike's. Michael Holton says, hello. Today was my first day back to Lexus, and it felt nostalgic. Some things changed, but a lot of things have stayed the same. And honestly, it felt weird to be back. Not going to lie, but I'm back. I'm glad you're back. Going back to work is definitely an adjustment, especially, I don't know if you're in sales or repairs, but anybody, if you are on your feet a lot, if you're a cashier, if you're a retail manager, grocery store, something like that, going back after not being on your feet for 8 hours a day, it is an adjustment. I think my body is finally like bouncing back, but like my feet hurt, my back hurt, my neck hurt, everything hurt. Everything hurt. Like seriously painful, couldn't stand, like needed to be like, I need to take a break. um it's definitely an adjustment going back, but I'm glad you're back. Sevi says, you talked to EDD representative and she was rude. Oops. And then she told you to F off. I really wish that they had a customer survey satisfaction question thing at the end of their calls where it's like, press 1 if the rep was friendly. And then we'd all press 2. Press 2 if the rep was knowledgeable. We'd still all press 2. Press 1 if the rep was able to help you with what you called about today. And again, we'd all press 2. Maybe not always. Maribel, thank you for the donation. I am going to scroll around and look for your question. You guys, with unemployment ending, please go ahead and hang on to your money. I know things are tight. I can't figure out. It seems like YouTube saves your settings from your previous lives now, and I don't know what section to go to turn off the donations. I appreciate them. I just worry that funds are tight right now. Okay. So I'm scrolling up, seeing Maribel, if you do have a question, I'm going to be on the lookout for it, but I'm scrolling my way back up. Oh, thank you, Miss Lily. Okay, for help with utilities. I sometimes when I lose my place and I scroll back up, 1, that's a good opportunity for you guys to like the video, and 2, I'll take questions as I'm working my way back up. So for help with utilities, you can also visit housingiskey.com, but a lot of the websites, like I live in Los Angeles, I have LADWP. Right on the LADWP website is information about lower cost utilities. And I think if you call them directly, they will waive up to like, call them. They have programs. I don't want to say for sure if they waive it, but they work with you on that. Same with, I'm with SoCal Gas, and they will also either put you on a really low cost program, or they should work with you. They should work with you. So call them, log into whoever your utility provider is, and see if they can work with you. Okay, here's Maribel's question. My claim was UI and year ended December of 2021. That's this year. I got the first week of Fed Ed. Is there any other way to continue getting benefits until December when I can open a new claim? There's not. So in your case, definitely apply for the Housing is Key program. If you're not behind on your rent yet, call the number that I have. It's right under the first pinned comment. So if you scroll up in chat, call that and I'll read it. I'll also read the number for Housing is Key to you guys. I do terrible like when I try and type it in the chat again. So here's the number that you're going to call if you're not behind on rent yet to get help with future rent. And they should help with up to 3 months of future rent. It is 833-430-2122. You guys grab a pen if you need this number. I'm going to say it again, but it is right underneath the top pinned comment as well. That number is 833-430-2122. And I do have a dedicated video coming out about the Housing is Key Rent Relief Rental Assistance Program. It's filmed, should have been up last week. It will go up sometime this week. I need to edit it and put it online. So again, I'm scrolling up and taking random questions. Christian, it doesn't matter if you have money left on your claim balance unless your program type UI. And even then, it should be a fresh claim balance and you won't have access to the old claim balance. So that money goes back to the government. If you were PUA, PEUC, extension tier 2 or extension tier 2 augmentation, you don't have access to those funds anymore, or Fed Ed as of now as well. So you'd only have access to money on your claim if your program type says UI, or if you're being rolled over through the DNCP program in order to start your new claim, then you would have access to that money. Myra wants to know if they extending the 300. It doesn't seem like it, and it doesn't even seem like they're going to be extending any of the unemployment programs. And Sevi, I'm so sorry that that happened to you, and I really do think that they should add a customer satisfaction survey to the end of those phone calls. And then they need to like, I never want to advocate people getting fired, especially not like in this economy, but they at least need to like follow up with those people if they get too many negative remarks. And I feel like the reps would be nicer if they knew that there was something like that at the end of the call. And then also the EDD would have a real knowledge of how many calls were dropped if the survey wasn't completed at the end. It's just my thoughts. Okay, Vanessa, thank you so much. Ben says is it true that some PUA claims are being told to repay every penny? That's awful if true. Yes, I'm actually my friend who actually lives in Pennsylvania got that letter. So it shouldn't be every penny though. It should just be back to like December 27th. So yes, and at some point, we still haven't seen this documentation yet, but at some point, the EDD is going to be requesting proof of employment for PUA recipients, and that's different than proof of income. I'm really hoping that if you guys already sent in proof of income to get the higher weekly benefit amount under the PUA program, that you won't be asked to send the information again. But I don't know because I haven't seen anything from the EDD yet on that. But proof of employment, they're going to want to see an offer letter from a prospective employer. If you don't have work history, they're going to want to see a signed affidavit from someone who was going to give you a job. They haven't come out with the complete list yet. That's just what they're accepting in other states. And then they do accept like a Schedule C from your tax information. But yeah, they are going after people if they believed that they weren't truthful about having a job offer when they applied for benefits. Ex-Val said, my friend wants to know she filed a new claim and approved, but her claim weekly says 0. So if you get a benefit award letter that has a $0 amount, even though it's an award letter, it's awarding you $0, which in essence means you don't qualify for a new claim. Christian, should I call them or not because they don't let me certify, or should I file for another unemployment? If you have old weeks to certify for, then you would need to call them to get those released, or wait for them to be released under the conditional pay now program, or email your assembly member for help getting old payments pushed through. If your benefit year has ended, then you would need to file a new claim if you qualify. LA, what's the claim status tracker about? Are we getting extended benefits? We're not getting extended benefits, but here's the thing, kind of like how Ben was just asking, are they really going after people for all that PUA unemployment money? And the answer is there's a lot of people who got conditional payments. They had pending EDD payments for a long time, and they needed those payments released, so they were released conditionally, but those people still need to have a phone determination interview for whatever the eligibility issue was that they were pending in the first place. Um, there's just lots of follow-up. Like, PUA is over now. They haven't instructed people on what to send in for their proof of employment, and it's gonna be really important, even as we go back to work, to still keep an eye on the messages that we're getting in our UI online inbox. I would maybe check those, weekly, maybe monthly, but I would say weekly for a long time, because like someone was commenting above, those phone determination interviews are running 18 to 20 weeks behind. That means in January, even if you're back to work now, I think I did the math and it's like January, that they could be calling you about your phone determination interview to confirm that you really were eligible when they released the conditional payments. If you don't have your phone determination interview, if they call you and you don't have it, if you don't do it, that's when they can send you an overpayment notice. Then you could request an overpayment waiver, but then you're going to have to wait to find out if the overpayment was approved or not, and that can take a long time. Linda's wondering the same thing. I wonder if they'll ask us to repay everything. I always had a fear of that, but I think it's unlikely. Okay. So guys, let's not worry about stuff that hasn't happened, right? Like, there's a lot of, I know that we have a lot of legitimate work, and it is a legitimate worry. And I'm not saying it's not a legitimate worry, but it hasn't happened yet. So what has happened is unemployment benefits have ended, and that's a big enough worry on its own. If the EDD sends you an overpayment notice, request an overpayment waiver. To get approved for the overpayment waiver, the overpayment is supposed to have occurred through no fault of your own, which, by the way, if you received conditional payments, that wasn't your fault that you were given those payments. You had a phone determination interview, but the EDD didn't hold your phone determination interview fast enough. And so as a result, you were sent payments. So if you get conditional payments for your pending EDD payments, that would constitute the through no fault of your own portion, at least in my opinion. Remember, I'm certainly not a lawyer, and I don't even work for the EDD, but I believe that would count as no fault of your own if you received those payments and you weren't supposed to because they didn't have your phone eligibility interview done. And then it also needs to create a financial hardship on you to repay the overpayment. It's both no fault of your own and create a financial hardship for you to repay it. Worst case scenario, they say you owe the overpayment. You can probably appeal that decision. Appeals are taking about 6 months, the last I checked. But you can also come up with a payment plan, make really little payments back on all of that. So it's not just gonna be like you're gonna have to pay $11,000 now, or else, they're gonna come after you. They should be working with you. But let's not worry about that until it happens, because there's lots of other things that are happening now that need our attention and focus. Okay, AJ says I have $11,000 back pay on my claim, but it's not letting me certify anymore. Will I still be able to get my remaining balance? So you would have needed to request backdating back to when you first lost your job, when you first became unemployed. And if for some reason there was a delay in when you first filed for benefits, and when you actually first lost your employment, then they would give you back pay for all of that. If you just filed your claim, they loaded you up with the maximum number of weeks, but you can only get benefits for weeks prior to September 4th. So you won't be able to get, it depends on if they approve your backdating and how far back. Megan says the EDD reached out to me today and told me I qualified for a new claim. I just said had some flag they have to lift. I was surprised by that. That's good news, Megan. I'm glad that you're going to be able to continue receiving some benefits. Elisa says they said they wanted to contact my landlord. I only wanted help with utilities. That's interesting. Try and talk with your landlords. Let them know, hey, I was paying you on time. I was getting unemployment. I'm looking for work, but I might be struggling. I am going to apply for the rental assistance program. They may be contacting you. Try and be upfront with your landlords as much as you can. That way, hopefully, they can work with you as well. Mark, I have a question regarding my pending payment. It went from pending to false statement penalty week. What does that mean? So that means that they believe that something you said when you were certifying for benefits was untrue, and that now you're serving a penalty week, which means you won't be able to get paid for that week because of the false statement. Usually there are multiple false statement penalty weeks. So if you believe that that's not true, you're going to need to call them and clear it up, or email your assembly member and have them help with that. If they're saying that, you should be able to appeal the decision, but again, appeals take a really long time, about 6 months. The Reyes family says, you're getting evicted because you moved in your sister with her 2 kids into an extra room in my apartment. I told my landlord on March, but since the evictions are coming up on October, I'm screwed. So your landlord's not willing to work with you in times like this. This is just heartless. What harm is it doing having a couple extra people there? I don't get it. Talk to your landlord, see if there's any way they will work with you, and ask for rental assistance. Apply for that. Um, if you have from what I understand, what I was told by somebody that helps run that housingiskey.com program, he said that the judge won't even hear the case as long as you have applied for rent relief. Val says my friend wants to know we read that one. Alejandro, if renting a room, can I still apply for housing is key? So that gets tricky. He did talk to me about that. So when you're renting a room, they're going to look at the entire household's budget, to see if you qualify. So you can try applying, but it definitely might be more tricky. Also, you guys could get in trouble if you were subletting and whoever your roommates are didn't tell your landlord that you were there. So be careful with that. Possibly if you were on the lease, and possibly if your other roommates are also having trouble paying for the rent. So they did say that they look at the household, everybody that's in the house, in determining sending out those payments. Yeah, but it's going to be a little bit more tricky. All right. Alicia says, "Oh, I didn't receive the first Golden State stimulus because I made more than 30K. However, I claim a dependent and qualify for the second, but nothing yet." And again, even through the direct deposit, they still have through September 3rd. Nope, let's try again, Shelly. October 15th to get those all sent out. So I wouldn't worry about it just yet. Um, and I think that I read that they're expecting to give out 9 million Golden State stimulus payments and only 2 million went out. So that's kind of, it's like a drop in the bucket. So there's still a lot that are going to be going out. For song says Joe Biden can't do whatever he said for stimulus. Ba, 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 ba. Oops, X Vals, I got yours. Miss Lily. Oh, yeah. So Miss Lily, try the individual utility companies as well, and that might be good advice, as well for the other person who was saying that they only needed help with utilities. Try the individual companies and see if they can work with you. Oh, Evelyn. Oh, yes. Call everybody can do this in the state of actually, it's any state. Call 211, tell them what issues that you're having, and they can point you in the direction of available programs for you. Thank you, Evelyn. You know, there's so much information coming in, sometimes I forget about all of the available avenues. So 211 is like a helpline kind of. So you say, I haven't eaten in 3 days, and they point you to a food pantry, or they're supposed to, or help you point you in the right direction for applying for CalFresh or SNAP. They're supposed to point you in the right direction for getting help with your utility payments. Basically, they should be aware of any available programs for you. Um, Yeah, you guys, here's a good thing to remind everybody of, besides hitting that like button, is to please ask your question a maximum of once every 15 minutes. If you've asked it at 9:30 and I haven't answered it by 9:45, then go ahead and ask it again. And by the way, I'm only at 9:08 in the comments, but I always hope that as I'm answering someone else's comment, that it also helps answer your question as well. I'm going to take a drink of water and you guys like the video. I don't have my coldest cup. Isabel says, I got fired on 8/16. I applied for unemployment on 8/22. I'm pending. And Tracker says, phone interview. How long is the process? So it takes at least 3 weeks to find out if you're approved for that new claim or not. And I'm so sorry that you've lost your job. Okay. Andrew, where do you live? I also have a friend that works at Lexus, but he works like doing repairs, or at least I think he still works there. Thank you, Christian. I'm from LA also. Ashley says, my friend's identity was stolen and I've been trying to help him, was able to get a hold of his state rep. But my question is, will he ever see his PUA money from the last year? I hope so, and please don't give up trying. And I think by reaching out to the rep, that's a really good avenue for trying to do that. And you're a good friend. And it's so terrible. I actually now know 2 people who somehow the EDD got the wrong social security number on file for them. And so they can't get their benefits. And they're so over trying to get the payments that they've stopped. But every time I see them, I'm like, have you emailed your assembly member? You can do it now. You can use my computer. You can use the work computer. You can, like, whatever you want. And we're going to get you. Like, that's so much money. So please, if you are owed money, please don't give up even when you're back to work. Please keep fighting to get the money that belongs to you. Oh, well, yes. Well, the Reyes family, I don't know what I can do, but I'm going to give you a shout out. So, you guys, the Reyes family has a YouTube channel. They're currently trying to get to 100 subscribers. So please, please, please check out their channel and subscribe to their channel. I still need to do that post where I encourage everybody. Oh, I did do that post. I have to check and make sure. Sometimes I have links blocked because you guys, I'm sure you've seen like the fake accounts and the spammers are a bit out of control. Evelyn called the EDD and got through the first time. Okay, you guys, you know that I love finance and building wealth, and that buying lottery tickets is not a good way to do that. But Evelyn, you might want to go buy a lottery ticket because apparently you're really lucky today. Alejandro. Oh, the Reyes family they keep asking me for proof the landlord, but that would be your sister. Maybe work with your sister to have her fill out the housing as keep paperwork. Reyes family, you have to have her do a letter and state since when you've been living there and how much you pay in rent, and you'll be fine. Just do it. Oh, thank you, Reyes family. Reyes family, you should make a video on this. I have not, I can't remember whose channel I've subscribed. I'm not, if I am subscribed, I haven't seen a video from you in a while. I'm going to be honest about that. But you should make a video on your experience applying for the Housing is Key program, because it's on my to-do list, but I'm running behind. So if you have time, that's a video that we need. So I would certainly send my viewers over to that. Okay. Oh, Christian likes my art. This is obvious. This is not my art. This is a movie poster. It's from Mr. Brainwash. Who sometimes they were like, is he the same as Banksy? He's not the same as Banksy. My pillows are Banksy. This I got because I work at the movie theater. Yeah, and I'm going to go to a Banksy art exhibit on Thursday. Manny, I got emailed a couple days back from Wednesday about my back pay saying currently undergoing a validation process. What does this mean and how can I fix it? I tried calling and I'm not going to get my back pay. You are, but you need, well, you are if they determine that you're eligible, but they're in the process of validating that you're eligible. So whatever documents they need, they may need the documents again. Make sure to get those to them. And you might want to call, you might want to email, sorry, I prefer email. You might want to email your assembly member and have them help you with that. Oscar says there's no more extensions. Democrats, Republicans are not on board, and Biden too sucks. Yeah, even President Biden has said that he thinks it's time that the $300 weekly boost ends. He says it was never meant to be permanent. And basically, how I feel is like they think that the pandemic hasn't ended, so they're just pretending like it doesn't, even though it definitely does. Anyway, yeah, nobody really seems on board with it. You know, Newsom has been really quiet since he won the recall election, and I haven't heard him say anything about unemployment or the eviction moratorium. That would be really good if he did. I think he should, but I haven't heard about it. Alejandra says, oh, yep, thank you. Andrew's gonna check out the Lexus dealership. See, like it takes me, if you wait every 15 minutes to ask your question, then I can get to the questions faster. But right now I'm trying to scroll through all the duplicate questions, and then I get sidetracked and I go on some rant about duplicate questions. So please, please just ask them every 15 minutes. And then kind of towards the end of the lives, like the last 15 minutes, I normally jump to the current comments so that I can catch those of you that are still in here if you haven't watched the whole thing. Mickey was switched back to a more recent claim. Determination was to continue regular UI. I checked when to certify it. It says that I have received max for now. It's confusing. I must call them. So if you got the DNCP letter, the deferred new claim payment letter, one of these days I'm going to get it right. Deferred new claim payment letter, then your claim should start. But a lot of people are needing to go to, it'll show you file a new claim or register or manage existing claim. You're going to go to register or manage existing claim. From there, you might see the reopen claim button. You are going to need to hit the reopen claim button. And as soon as you fill out the information there, it should populate with the dates for you to certify on your new claim. Jerome, you used to work for tens at a graveyard shift and at a convenience store tile floor. Yeah, ours is not carpeted either. And I don't know, they have these little weird mats that they put under your feet, but somehow like I feel like that puts more weird pressure on my back. And I actually prefer the tile floor over the weird like mats that are supposed to be like anti-fatigue or whatever. Uh-oh. Okay, you guys, I lost my place, so I'm gonna go with some current comments as I work my way up. Henry Cruz, what's the DNCP? I haven't been all caught up with the latest. I've been looking for a job since the extension ran out. Okay, I'm gonna find the letter for you guys, and I'm going to, my roommate's texting me something funny about the cat that happened today when they were working from home. I'm going to find the letter because it doesn't exactly say DNCP letter. It says something else. So you guys like the video while I find this letter, please. Um, shoot. How far back was it? I have too many videos that I need to make. I'm going to favorite it, guys. Whew. Okay, so next time I don't have to scroll like that. I remembered to put it in favorites. The DNCP letter actually says, notice of eligibility to remain on pandemic emergency unemployment compensation extension. And this is from, that's from their UI online inbox. It's not a mailed letter. So if you got that, it should still be in your inbox. Ba, 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 ba. And it says once you have collected all available benefits on your PEUC extension, and if you are still unemployed and eligible, the EDD will automatically start paying benefits on your new regular UI claim. There is no need to contact the EDD. Hi, Jeff. Just my friend from San Francisco. How's the new house? Or the new condo and the dog. Okay, so that's what that DNCP letter actually says. And you should have got that when you first filed a new claim when your original benefit year ended. Hello, Saeed. Okay, I'm going to start scrolling back up here. I'll take a few questions as I go back up. Christian says, I voted for Gavin Newsom. It was my first time voting in the US. Well, congratulations on your first time voting. And yeah, so the results went the way you wanted. So that is awesome. I know a lot of people on both sides are frustrated with Gavin Newsom. A lot of Democrats are frustrated because he didn't, because of how bad that he botched unemployment, quite honestly. All right, Kendra says, I spoke to David and he is taking California unemployment. And he stated, I don't know what that is. Yeah, Newsom's just been quiet this whole time. Margaret says, do I have to show proof of work search when I certify online every time? So for Fed Ed, for that 1 week of Fed Ed, you actually needed to put in 3 work searches. And yes, if you're on a new claim, you need to register for Cal Jobs. And I want to say that you do need to put the work search in online on the new claims. That's the safest way to do it. I know that they were allowing us to keep track in another method if we were PEUC or PUA or extension tier 2 or extension tier 2 augmentation. I'm not 100% sure now that because basically everything is how it was before the pandemic now. It's gone back to how it was. And I'm just not 100% sure if you do need to put those in online or not. So I would recommend doing it just to be on the safe side. Hi, Anthony. You're getting ready to go to Fremont from Los Angeles. You're gonna, oh, well, I hope I don't bore you to sleep. I feel like I should like make a lot of clapping noises. Anthony is bad grandpa and he just got a job. He's done it before, I think, but he is driving a truck and that's a long distance. So yeah, I hope I don't bore you to sleep. You know, if I need to make some random noises to help you stay awake. I'm just going to call you OS. Let's say someone was unemployed since 2020, yet since their benefit year expired and they filed a new claim, if they get a 0 award notice, does that mean they're still processing? No, that means they have looked into your work history and you do not have enough wages to qualify. So basically, they give you an award letter even when you don't qualify, but it has a $0 amount. Okay. Oh, Lacey, you were wondering about the spammers. I need to block them. You know, it's really tricky. I've been spending like an hour each morning. I don't know if you're talking about it in the chat, but I've been spending an hour each morning. YouTube has an area where you can add blocked words. So every morning the process is first, the intention is to go on and respond to your comments. But what it's ended up being is adding new words to the blocked words list because they keep finding new ways to spell words. Then I go and if they're using my picture, I have to report them for impersonation. Then I have to block them, and then I also report the comments. So that's like 4 steps on each of those comments. And YouTube doesn't have a way like to remove all comments from this user. That would be so easy. Like, how can there not be an option that just says remove all comments from this user? That would like totally save me time, and then I could get to more of your questions in my videos. But that whole process, it's gotten so bad that it's taking an hour each morning. I smiled because I see Ursula in here. Hello. Oh, the spammers in these comments. Okay, let me go ahead and mute these people. At least some. Jeff, I should make you a moderator too, so that you can help with the spam comments. It's just really bad. All kinds of spam. I'm so sorry. Okay, Jason says reading all the spam while actually eating some spam. All right. Uh-oh. Who's Boom Fam? Jeff, are you still in here? Maybe I should make you a moderator. Oh, video games. Uh-oh. All right, well, Boom Fam really wants some subscribers. Okay, I muted Boom Fam. Oh, dear. Oh, this is terrible. I'm so sorry, guys. Ugh. All right, now I've gone ahead and hidden him. I'm sorry. All right, I'm going to do the donation question. But again, you guys hang on to your money because I know everything just ended. Erica says, my daughter filed for a new claim last Monday. No change on her claim or inbox. Do you know how long they are taking to determine eligibility? So it's going to take about 3 weeks. So that's kind of just how long the new claims take to find out if they're approved or not. So 21 days. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're at least a little bit behind, but that's how long it's supposed to take for the new claim. So it's a little bit too early to find out if she got approved or not. Oh man, I got to block the Shadow Empire too, and I like that name, so that sucks. Like, I want you guys, I don't mind if you guys share your, oh my goodness. I gotta add Boo Fam to my, I wonder if I add that to my hidden words, if it'll also block it from this chat. Yeah, oh my goodness. They're just gonna make another fake bot account. Like, how does YouTube not catch this? This is frustrating because now I'm just seeing this. And now I'm taking time to hide everybody when I know you guys. What in the actual F, you guys? I'm not at the actual people that are like, not you guys that actually came in here for help. Does anybody that I know, Jeff, are you in here? Do you want to be a moderator? What about you, Andrew? Are you in here? Do you want to be a moderator? Ben, I can't pay you guys though. That's the thing. So Jenny Silver, and she's totally working hard. She deserves it, but her channel's making more money than mine. Mine doesn't. It makes money, but like not that much money. Jeff, I'm going to just make you a moderator. So if you want to, I know Jeff in real life for a long time, so I'm going to add him as a moderator on the channel. And if you want to delete those comments, that would be amazing. I'll just leave that setting for whenever you pop in. Feel no obligation to stay. Leave. It's fine. Okay, Maria says, you got approved for unemployment, but how long can it take for me to certify again? You pray and hope it's soon. Me too. I think if you got the award letter stating that you're eligible, that's a good sign. So hopefully, again, though, 3 weeks to go through the whole process. Okay, Miss Megan says, yours says you have no weeks left to certify, but it allows me to certify. It says certification received. There are some strange things going on that I have not figured out how to get rid of. Or, sorry, I'm thinking about these spammers, and I'm reading Jeff's comment above and I'm thinking about getting rid of scammers and spammers. There's some things cropping up that I like. Yours is the first case where I've heard that. I'm sure you're not the only one, but I have to look into it. I do think that there are some people that were approved for the DNCP claims and they didn't realize it. Or maybe it's just going to get stuck on pending. I'm really not sure about that. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Teresa, you're welcome. Thank you guys. Zero Bob says, I've got pending payments since March and I have a phone interview on Thursday. Oh my goodness. Zero Bob. The phone interviews are supposed to be pretty easy. Make sure to just attest that the reason why you were laid off or were not working was due to the pandemic. And I hope everything goes in your way. Uh-oh. Shantae says PG&E is doing automatic payment plans for my balance between certain dates. They're adding $32 a month to pay off that balance. I also applied for Housing is Key. Good, Shantae. I hope you get approved for all of those programs, and I'm glad that PG&E is working with you. Cecil Love says, okay, so this one I do know about. Cecil Love just got the notice of determination for the Fed Ed extension. So that's going to get you just one additional week, that week ending 9/11. You should get paid for that week. It will not have the extra $300 on it, but at least something's better than nothing. Okay. Gerardo says, I had a claim of 3,000 on the 11th, and then on the 14th, I had a claim of 5,400. But then I got a message a couple days later saying I can no longer get paid. So it sounds like maybe they added the 1 week of Fed Ed to your claim. Well, what they did with Fed Ed is they loaded up all the weeks, which would have been 13 weeks of benefits. So it sounds like they added 13 weeks of Fed Ed to your claim, but then the whole program expired on September 11th. So that would be why it's telling you you don't have any additional weeks to certify. Joshua, now I'm scrolling up. Thank you, Jeff, for taking care of those spam comments. I owe you a drink. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Joshua says, PUA benefits ended September 4th, 2021. The last day to apply for for PUA is October 6th for weeks of unemployment before September. Yes, that's correct. Ba, 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 ba. Miss Megan says the federal government does not allow benefit payments to be made for weeks of unemployment after, even if you have a balance. That is correct. So if you're requesting backdating, then it's possible that you would get paid for weeks prior to September 4th, but after September 4th, then all the programs expire, and so you wouldn't get paid for any other weeks. Slatix. I'm probably not saying that right, but that was fun to say it that way. My claim ended on the 4th, but didn't receive all my benefits. What do I do? Do I put in a new claim? So again, the benefits go away after September 4th. They revert back to the federal government. You no longer have access to them. So anybody can try filing a new claim as long as your benefit year has ended. However, you're not going to qualify for a new claim if you haven't had attachment to the workforce and earned the required amounts in order to qualify for that new claim. So, for example, a lot of us got furloughed or laid off back in March of 2020 or April of 2020, and we haven't been back to work since. If you haven't worked at all since opening your initial claim, you fail the lag test. They don't allow back-to-back unemployment claims unless you've had attachment to the workforce in your prior benefit year. And then the earnings need to be there's a $1,300 earning requirement and then a $900 earning requirement times 1.25. And it needs to be within your last benefit year, not the base period. Okay. All right, I'm going to scroll back down to the bottom so I can get some of you that are currently in here. Okay, let's see here. And I think I'm going to try and go on time tonight. I'm actually hearing that it can take up to 2 months to hear about backdating, but I'm also hearing that it is worth it to call. And guys, my claimer link is working again. So if you haven't used them before, my link saves you $5 off of a call, and that helps you get through to the EDD. It doesn't guarantee you'll get a good rep, but I am hearing that a lot of people who have requested backdating have called the EDD and they put the backdating through right away. I have also heard that for people that got the DNCP notice, that were expecting to start their new claims, and rather than hit like the reopen claim button, they're just going ahead and calling, and that's worrying also. Amy, I get distracted so easy. I even have a little emoji. I never use my emojis, but I'm gonna use them. First I'll use the crying one, and then I have like a little winky face that says, I can multitask because I'm not good at multitasking. I get so distracted. Okay. And it's awful. Jerks. Okay. So yes, Josh, you can still request backdating. Is my internet laggy? I look even laggy to me. Anyway, you can still request backdating on your claim, but it needs to be for weeks prior to 9/4. Okay. Jerry, you're welcome. You called the EDD over the weekend and they told me that I need to wait for my interview. I'm stuck on quarterly review. Will people stuck on quarterly review get the conditional payments? I'm so frustrated that they didn't remove the quarterly review flag for you. That's supposed to be an easy fix. Like, you should not buy any lottery tickets. I don't know if you were in here earlier when I was joking about that. Someone got through to the EDD on their first call and I was like, "You should go buy lottery tickets. Don't really go buy lottery tickets." But you definitely should not, because that rep should have been able to remove that flag. It should have been very, very easy for them to remove that and release those payments. Um, and actually, if you wanna just bypass calling the EDD again, to answer your question, yes. Once they remove that flag, you should get paid, that money, but just email your assembly member. That's a super easy fix, and I'm frustrated they didn't do that for you. Patty, do not worry about sending anybody money, or unless you're sending it to another, well, I don't know, guys, be careful about spammers and scammers, and that's why you guys may not know this, but, both I haven't seen Andy in here, but I do see him commenting. Andy had an incident, during one of my lives, and my mom, she tried to commit suicide when I was 9, and one of my viewers told me that, like, their friend tried to take their life because of their frustration over benefits. And at the time, I think my video made like $20. I ended up being able to donate 100, but instead of giving it to that person, because I don't know them, I don't know their situation, I don't know anything, I donated the money to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline because I feel like they could better use the resources. So sometimes it's better to guide people to resources. I just don't want anybody to get scammed. I really worry about that. Okay. Patty, just tell me you love me and like all my videos. Watch the one with AOC on it. That's fine for me. Okay. And Miss Megan, you got a hold of EDD for your mom, her boyfriend, and her sister. Yeah, you are so welcome. The assembly members have really been like saints and superheroes through all of this. Cecil says, my determination letter says I have $2,613 benefits, but I can't certify. It tells me to, yes, hit your reopen claim button. Cecil, hit the reopen claim button. It is going to ask you a lot of the information that almost makes it look like you're filing a new claim. But as soon as you fill that information out, it is going to go ahead and it should at least go ahead and let you certify for benefits. So yeah, hit the reopen claim button. White says, I think Jenny gets more people because she stays on focus and answers lots of questions, doesn't chatter as much. Well, I got home from work. I've been at work all day and I come straight from work to try and answer your questions. Jenny puts in a lot of hard work. She gets distracted though sometimes too. She's got her cat and stuff. And I always tend to chatter at the end of the live streams. If you want me when I'm a little bit fresher and less like sidetracked. Also, Jenny has a moderator. Her channel makes a lot more money than me. She absolutely works hard and she deserves every penny she gets, but it's easier when you have help. So she has someone in there the whole time to delete spammers, to delete repetitive comments, and my channel's not at that level yet, so I can't afford the extra help. I have to rely on the kindness of my friends when they pop in. Okay. And Jenny and I like we're friends. I very much respect what she does and she works hard and we message each other on Instagram almost every day. But I do get sidetracked. It's an ongoing issue, not just on YouTube chats. But not in case any prospective employers are looking. Okay. Tony says I logged into my account. It's still cut off, so you're just waiting. Okay, it looks like I think I've gotten to most of the questions at this point. It's okay, and see, I shouldn't read those either, but it's okay, whatever people think, and some people like Jenny more than me, and that's fine. Um, we've both been here for you guys this entire time. I like to think of us as a team. She often gets the information out for me, but she's, like, not my enemy, She's Like, I feel like we're in this together, like, we share information. We wanna make sure that we're on the same page so that we're guiding you guys and giving you guys, like, the similar information. Like, for a long time, I was the one that let people know that their claims get sent to a third party for review. This happens also when you file a new claim. And she was like, "Why do you keep saying that?" And finally, like, I was able to, like, help her with that. So sometimes I know a little something and I share it with Jenny. Okay. Um, so Miss Megan saying it let me certify this week and it said last payment issued 426 on 9/5. Claim balance is 1,143. Weekly benefit amount is 60. So that might have been your Oh, but it changed your weekly benefit amount. So that might be your new weekly benefit amount on the new program. Patty, I love that you're mad about that. Don't be mad, it's fine. So Alejandra, yeah, the interviews are taking about 18 to 20 weeks right now. But if you email your assembly member, they can oftentimes push these issues through. Also, if you filed an appeal, they're running about 6 months behind on those, and to find out if a backdating request has been approved or not, it's taking about 2 months to find out if that's approved or not. Okay. Um, Maybe. Aw, thank you, White. See, he's just saying that she gets more because she's more focused. And a lot of times too, she gives you guys, like, the really technical terms, and sometimes I glaze over those because I wanna a lot of people have told me that they watch my channel when English is not their first language and that they like watching me because I speak slowly and I'm easy to understand. And that's a very nice thing. I take that as a compliment. Um but sometimes I don't get as technical as Jenny does because I wanna try and break it down in a way that everyone's gonna understand it, so I don't always get into the nitty-gritty detail. Maybe I should more, I don't know, but that's what makes us different, right? That's what makes you guys hopefully watch us both. Okay. Oh, I've got a husband in here, I think. Um I'm definitely down to earth, but so is Jenny. She's awesome, you guys. She really, really is. She really cares about all of you guys. Like, it's genuine Jenny, we should call her. Truth Seeker says, "Been waiting since June for some backdating. I'm doing awesome. Thank you. June, July, August." You should hear pretty soon about that, Truth Seeker. You actually might want to email your assembly member and see why you haven't already heard. White. I got approved for a new claim and even got a letter with a new claim amount starting July 21st to July 22nd. It's not letting me certify, and I called and I was told that since I didn't work between. So that is the truth. And a lot of people are saying that they never got this other letter. So everybody gets an award letter, either with a $0 in all 4 quarters, but yours didn't. Yours had an amount that wasn't $0. But so when I filed my new claim, I'm not getting unemployment anymore, but when my benefit year ended, I still was collecting. So when I filed my new claim, I got an award letter. I got my other letter first. This letter says, uh, determination of invalid claim number 1277. So if you got a invalid claim letter, determination of invalid claim number 1277, that's the letter that kind of explains, hey, since you haven't worked and or done enough work and earned enough wages since you filed your original claim, that's why you're, even though we sent you an award letter and my award letter had my same weekly benefit amount, said I was going to get $450 a week, and I got that after my invalid claim determination letter 1277. It came after that, the award letter. But because I got the 1277 letter, that means that I didn't truly qualify for a new claim. When you have to have completed some work since first filing your original claim. They want to see attachment to the workforce in order to approve 2 back-to-back claims. So unfortunately, what she told you is true. What is unfortunate is that a lot of people are now telling me that they never got that 1277 determination of invalid claim letter. So, if I had a moderator like Jenny does, I'd have them drop, like, I'm not going to make Jeff do it if he's still in here. But Jenny has people that can like drop the link of the video, because I made a really good video about the determination of invalid claim letter 1277. But yeah. Oh dear. No. Okay, I'm only going to do like 2 more questions and then I'm going to head out for the night. Cecil, I think I answered your question. You're confused. Your benefit year ends next month, but it's telling me to reopen already. Should I? In that, I don't know. So that's I don't always know, you guys. Sometimes I learn about these things when you guys tell me and then I go research them. On that, I'm not sure. So your options would be to call the EDD and ask them, and or to email your assembly member and have them kind of guide you. That is really weird, and I'm not sure on that one. Victoria says, what does this mean? Should I call in? I got the email after waiting a long time for backdating. Please help, that your claim is going through validation. What should I do? So it just means that they're in the process of verifying whether you're eligible for the backdating or not. And if they ask for any documents or anything, I would definitely go ahead and send them anything that they're requesting. But I think that just means that they're looking into it, and that it's there. So basically, they're saying, "Hey, we've received your request, but we need to look into it to make sure that you're really eligible for it." Basically, so that's a good sign that you got that, and they're looking for it. But you could call them and just make sure that they're not waiting on anything else from you. Okay. Dub says your payments got disqualified for 9/5 and 9/18. Any idea? Sometimes a disqualification can be if your benefit year ended and you were supposed to file a new claim, and some people's benefit year did end like right before all the programs expired. So sometimes if you were supposed to file a new claim, or you did file a new claim, the EDD accidentally, it's not your fault, but they accidentally brought up the old claim for you to certify on, when really you're supposed to be certifying on the new claim. And so the certifications that are on the wrong claim go to disqualified, and it can happen the reverse of that too. If your benefit year ended, you filed a new claim, but you're supposed to be certifying on the old claim, and they had you certify on the new claim, it can result in disqualification. Obviously, that's not really the case. A phone call is the easiest way to get that cleared up, and or email your assembly member. Okay. Yeah, White, that's what a lot of people are telling me, that they didn't get that letter, but they should have. But she is correct in saying that if you didn't have attachment to the workforce, I Googled it earlier. So what you're going to Google is lag, just LAGEDD. And then that's going to bring up, it's a really long document. This time I'll make sure that the phone is here. So the lag period, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go ahead and click that. So it's all the way at the bottom, scrolling, still scrolling, still scrolling. Look, I even did it fast. I moved my finger off that time, but earlier I did it faster. Scrolling. I'm going to scroll more, guys. I got to go faster. And then way down there, after all that scrolling, that's where we did the bit about the lag period. And it said there's an earnings requirement, and then also you need to have some attachment. You're welcome, Debbie. Thank you for all the emojis. Always, I love seeing those emojis. It is fun. So there's the earnings requirement. Then in addition to the earnings requirement, there's some work. And it says, this requirement guarantees that the claimant has shown some attachment to a labor market during his old benefit year. So during your benefit year, you need to have completed some work, and it needs to amount to either $1,300 in your highest earnings quarter, or you got wages of not less than $900 plus have earnings of 1.25 times those highest quarter earnings in the base period of the new claim. For example, if in the high quarter the wages are $900, the claim must have a total base period earnings of at least $1,125. All right, you guys are heading out tonight. Daniel, she has not been successful in that yet. Thank you guys so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time.